I'm
There
so
we go.
sorry. I'm so sorry. Um, I remembered at like 1 minute till that I should have been in here backstage earlier because I'm crazy new with this crap. I'm not polished at it, and I'm sorry. I should have been here earlier, and then I should have been in here backstage earlier because I'm crazy new with this crap. I'm not polished at it. And now you don't put me on here in the it was private, it was public.
Yeah, we're live now.
Yeah, yeah, obviously. Thanks, old buddy.
Well,
Okay.
I kept clicking on it. It wouldn't put you up.
I don't blame it. I wouldn't put up with me either. Well, we got 14 people left in here. I saw 20 and then I saw a few people in here and then it was down to 20. Now we're down to 14. Doggone it.
It's back up to 24.
Is it? Okay. Let me give you my thumb. We'll put it right there. There we go.
Where's your counterpart there?
John let me know that he may have to be a little bit late.
Okay.
Something to come up in the wide world of business or something, and he may be running late.
Yeah.
Or he may be sitting in the chat right now, giggling as I do this by myself and watch me fall all over the place. Which is,
or he got in trouble with his wife, didn't clean up his mess in the kitchen.
That could happen very easily. Oh, brother, it has been a long 2 days. I'm going without sleep from last night. So I'm here. Yeah, we'll do this. What's going on, man?
Well, I guess we can go ahead and get our hellos in. We got Rem's Family Farm, Susie D, Shift Kicker, Lisa, Little Lone Prepper, Little Homestead by the Beach. Oh, that's a perfect homestead, isn't it? Right by the beach.
You would think.
We got Q in here, Gardening Warrior Q. Let's see, Time to Shine Homestead. We got Chris Riggs in here. Star Homestead. And I think, let me head back down to the beginning there. Connie Carlo. Here comes Bushy Bot. Well, I thought it'd be a good idea to have you guys, since I was doing live streams again and stuff like that, having guests, that is, get you guys up here and kind of get more of the word out from what's happening with global gardening / shed wars.
It's a mouthful, ain't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And y'all, I knew that he had put me as soon as my face popped up there. I knew it was. I just giving him a hard time. I wasn't thinking. I wasn't back here dog cussing poor Charles. Charles, everybody's buddy. But yeah, it's been a long road. What started as Shed Wars back in spring of 2019 has changed and evolved through all of these years. And this season makes the most changes that we've ever made. It takes it into a completely, well, not exactly completely, but it's radically different now. Yeah, it's the global gardening and homesteading community. That's, we were Shed Wars, and Shed Wars just rolls off the tongue now for 4 years. And it's so easy. Shed Wars, Shed Wars, Shed Wars. But now we are the global gardening and homesteading community, or some shortened version of that, whatever folks want to call it. But technically, the basic name that we've chosen, or some iteration of that. We may change it a little bit, but it's always going to be something like that. Because that's who we are. We came together from all across the planet to garden, grow food, to help teach people how to grow food again and have fun doing it.
Yeah, that was always my favorite part of it. Not so much just doing the videos and whatnot, but watching somebody from somewhere else, not from the United States or anything, for like Australia, some of the stuff that they deal with and what they grow and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's the part that is really, the magic of what I think Shed Wars is. It's the cultures, people, races, religions, all kinds of people from all across the planet coming together under one goal, under one community, one common goal, one team, although it may be split into two teams or even more in the future. We all are together to have fun, to teach the world to grow their own food again, and to be more self-sufficient. That's what Shed Wars was born out of the hearts of people that were very much prepper minded, that prepper mindset, and so that's where we come from, and we came from all across the planet to do it. If I didn't think I'd rip out my vocal cords doing it, I'd have like an Optimus Prime thing going, People of Earth, I am Shedimus Prime. But I ain't got it in me tonight. That's all I got right there. That's all I got.
Yeah, I always thought, I forgot the guy's name now, but he does interviews all the time, and I always said that you sound like him when he talks normally, when he doesn't get into the Optimus Prime voice.
Yeah,
because he tells this story all the time. Where'd you come up with the voice? And he talks about his friend was they were living in the same apartment, and he told him, don't be like outrageous big voice. He says, just be a normal strong voice, and that's where he came up with the Optimus Prime.
oh, that's pretty cool. I've seen his interviews before, and the guy's cool, and he has with his voice acting. He took Transformers and made it real to so many people, generations. At least a couple of 3 or 4.
Yeah, and it's just not Optimus Prime he does either.
Yeah, he does.
People don't know that.
Yeah,
we're in trouble now.
We're in trouble with. Oh, you made it. Hey, good to see you, John.
Hey, how you doing, Robert? Hi, Charles.
Oh, hey, I was actually surprised. I figured you'd be another 20 minutes trying to figure out how to get your computer to work.
No. I had a town council meeting. I just made it. How you guys doing?
Oh, not too bad.
It's all good here.
Robert, you can continue if you want.
Well, since you're here, what do you think is one of the major rules that you've changed this year for global gardening?
Well, I think for sure it's the pressure of the videos, making those mandatory videos. I think that's a big, huge change that a lot of people are liking that aspect of it. Where you don't have the pressure of having to do this amount of videos and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But the principle of the fun competition and the mission is still pretty much the same. It's to teach people how to grow their own food in their backyards, balconies, containers, to teach and to learn from one another as a community whole. And
Yeah.
now we want to expand a little more beyond just the gardening, but also to other homesteading tasks that normal people do around their homes and their homesteads. So, that's basically it. But the major thing I can think of is, the name change, obviously. And the reason we decided to do the name change is because, the Shed
It,
Wars name is,
it
what
makes
does it
sense
have to
though.
do? Yeah. What does it
Yeah.
really have to do with gardening? And it doesn't. So we decided it was time to put a rest to the name Shed Wars. So,
Although when you say you're in Shed Wars, it it perks somebody's interest. Like, oh, what is the Shed Wars?
right. It does.
Because
It does to a certain extent until it doesn't to a certain extent.
yeah, when we're on the age of internet, it's
Right.
not like Robert was saying. You don't very well say, I want to learn how to grow a tomato.
No, but
You
running
don't search
through,
for Shed Wars.
like doing a lot of research through the name itself, like let's say a channel, it could be a lot of channels where, you're a cooking channel and all of a sudden you're in Shed Wars and you're doing some gardening, that's fine. And all of a sudden, how to make carbonara, and all of a sudden a video later, Shed Wars. And your subscribers are going to be like, what is he talking about? Like, I didn't sign up to this cooking channel to be watching Shed Wars or a gardening video. You know what I mean? So to
Yeah,
some subscribers, it wouldn't make sense.
yeah. Now, uh, you guys going to keep the same thing with the drafts.
Yep.
What date is the draft on?
The draft is March 11th.
March 11th. And
And
what's the official?
there's so many people joining. I haven't decided, or me and Robert haven't decided if we're going to break it up into 2 days like last year.
Okay.
Because
Next thing I
we're
was
over
going to
40
ask
people.
is when's the official start of?
March
I keep
20th.
wanting to say Shed Wars.
March 20th is the official.
March 20th. Okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna do the March 10th is the final date to join. The only way you can do that now, instead of making an entry video, is you can either email me or Robert at Homestead Aquarius, and I'm sure one of the mods will be kind enough to post our emails in the chat there. And the deadline to join, you just simply send us a nice email that, my name is this is my channel name, and I would be interested in joining the global gardening community and homesteading community. And if we don't know you, we will stop by your channel, have a look at your channel, see what you're about, if you're legit, and we will email you back and say, okay, we'll add you to the draft list. And then March 10th, we don't accept any more entries because we have the draft March 11th.
Mm-hmm.
And what the draft is, for some people that might not know, is the whole thing is, let's say 50 people join the community. We have a draft where me and Robert, as the captains, we will draft, each one having a turn. This channel is going to be on my team, this channel on Robert's team, and so back and forth until we have everybody picked, and then we go from there as a competing team against team. But at the end of it all, it's all as community and fun. But we have a little fun competition about it.
Yeah. And of course it's bragging rights again.
Yeah, bragging rights. Yeah. We have, and you know as well as anybody, we have really some pretty cool competitions amongst each other and stuff like that. I don't want to mention, too many, not that I've won any, but.
Well, how'd you do with your sunflower challenge? Did somebody beat you?
Oh yeah, I got beat. Yeah.
Oh really?
Yes, I did get beat.
Who beat you?
I forget who beat me now, but I did get beat. I actually came in third place.
Third. Wow.
Third place, yeah. Yeah.
Did you guys? I don't remember. Did you guys have the biggest pepper challenge this last year?
We didn't. No. No.
Oh wow! I
No,
figured
as soon as you won it 2 years ago. No, but that might be something we do again
I
this
didn't
year.
even grow the big peppers last year.
We
I
know
still
you
got
cheated.
a packet of seeds up there, just waiting.
Charles, it's irrelevant to this live, but we all know you cheated.
Did he just say third place? What was I going to ask? So there is no set limit on videos. So like before, you had to do at least 2 a month.
Right. No, now you don't have you. It's all about your participation. Like if you want to make 30 videos and you use that hashtag on your video, gardening, homesteading skills, you're participating to the community. You're offering a video to the community, which that hashtag eventually will all be put into one big, massive library. If you want to make one video, that's okay. Just when it comes under that hashtag, guess how many videos your channel is going to have in participation in that community of hashtag? It's going to have one. If you make 60, it's going to have 60. So it's all up to the individual channel to, make as many videos with that hashtag they want. It's up to you.
Mm-hmm.
No pressure.
And have you come up with the ending date yet? When it ends?
The ending date is October 23rd. It's 1 month after the winter solstice.
Okay. Now, previous seasons, there was you could add stuff from the previous seasons.
Yes.
Like if you had crops that just didn't get in time, you could add those to the previous.
Right, and that's what we're doing this year, especially this year. Excuse me, is for returning members, like let's say Occasion Hydroponics. Even though he hasn't been drafted yet, and there's probably a chance he won't. We'll see. But Ram's Family, Wild Edibles. It's returning members that, let's say, in December, January, February, they were harvesting stuff, or they were hunting, and they were, preserving meat, putting in the freezer. That stuff, those returning members can bring back and start the new year with that weight. Like for instance, I got chickens laying eggs back in January. Because I'm a returning member, I can bring all my egg weight to start off with. That's just a little bonus and the reason why I did that is because a lot of members are like, especially people up in Canada, sorry, Tony, but yeah. Especially people up in Canada where, they have the moose hunting season and all that stuff, and bears, whatever they kill up there in Canada. And, to them, it wasn't fair. Like, oh, you guys, you end the season. Us in Canada, we harvest these moose and these bear that we eat, and we don't get to weigh them. Well, that's changed now. You can still do your harvesting of moose and your wild game and your little tiny fish smelts you catch in the winter, and freeze all. You could do all that, and it counts.
I don't know. I know a lot of people that do a lot of that ice fishing, catch some pretty good sized fish.
The ones I know in Shed Wars, they catch as tiny little bait fish. They're called smelts. Yeah. We have a really good fisherman for smelts. at Time to Shine Homestead. Tommy Smelts, as a matter of fact, he's really good at catching little bait fish.
Now, there also, you do have part of this for fishing too.
Yes, fishing.
I think Robert pushes it more, I guess. What is it?
Yeah.
Fishing rodeo?
Yeah. The Shed Wars, the what are we going to call it now? I don't know, people. Maybe we stick with Shed Wars, but I don't think we will.
It's gonna hard. It's gonna be hard for when we first start.
Let me see if I can hillbilly this up a little bit, get some real English in here. Gardening, homestead, and skills. That's what we're calling our hashtag, gardening, homestead, and skills. You know, we can shorten that down to a couple of syllables here after I practice a little bit, you know. But yeah, we had a fishing rodeo that I've tried to get people excited for 2 years, but it's just so much going on, and we don't have out of all the people that we have every year, we only have a few people that like to fish. Okay, or maybe one or two that actually go on a regular basis. And then we have lots of people that say, well, I used to love to fish, but I haven't gone. And so the fishing rodeo, I encourage people to actually get out there and fish again, do something for fun like that. And we had people that actually thanked us for doing that because they had not been fishing in a long time. That's the great stuff.
Yeah, it's all, if you haven't done it for a while, it's good to get out there and practice a little bit. It'd been like, of course, I didn't get into the whole the rodeo bit, but I just went out and done some fishing, and I was just tying a lure on, and I'm like, oh crap, I forgot how to do my fancy little knot to keep it from slipping and stuff. And it took me a few seconds to remember how to do it.
Yes, if you're not doing something, you forget how to do it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of fine motor skills and memories involved in tying knots. Like which way did the little fish go? Did it go this way? Did it go over the log and into the hole, or in the hole and over the log?
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you're catching little tiny bait fish, with bobbers, you don't need, not that strong,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, pick on the freshwater fishermen. Yeah, I hear you.
But when you're fishing saltwater like I do, and you're catching 30, 40-pound fish, it's you got to know your knots.
Well, yeah, because that's obviously man's fishing right there. Man's fishing trip is when you go to salt water. That's obviously that.
Well, I just figured I would throw that out there.
Well, I'm sure you've thrown it out there and it was a lure, but you ain't gonna catch nobody with it. The freshwater and saltwater, it's all wonderful. And
oh yeah.
But and then there's
just getting out there.
They haven't bought a license, haven't bought a fishing license, and it's been a struggle. Been a struggle each year. We go through a lot of stuff, and we wind up not promoting something early enough. Okay, and then it's like by the time we promote it, it's almost time for it to be done, and then somebody says we had a fishing rodeo. Or we had a gladiator challenge. What? Yeah. Getting people on the same page. We will be doing that in a different way this year. This is the 4 years. We've had a lot of success. We've continued to press on through the years and changed it. And this year, with the removal of the requirement, no required videos, It's free. It's about as free as we can make it.
Or entry videos, which I kind of enjoyed the entry videos.
Well,
Some of them were quite hilarious.
they were, and it's been a part of what we do all this time. But it was also part of the problem. Okay, it was also part of the problem because we had we put out a public offering and let anyone that wanted to make an entry video to make one. They were able to use the hashtag and everything and gain subscribers and gain exposure to the community. And they had people come over and subscribe to them. And they profited unfairly off of that. And then they left, you know, or
you didn't hear any, you didn't see any more from them.
We had some people that did that and caused us problems. So we took that out of the mix. Now, this year, we hope that we will eliminate that type of behavior. But, you know, as well as I do, people still will try to do things. However you design it, somebody's always looking to break the system somehow. And do, but we do what we can, for our community to be just good people doing, their best for one another and having fun, helping the community to grow. And we look for that. Okay. We took away the need for required video, but now that was important. And we'll see how this rocks along. But as we had required videos, it was to help community involvement through the season. Okay. That was the purpose for that. It was to help it stay maintained and working and helping the algorithm. But with the changes that we made with the new hashtag, the gardening homesteading skills hashtag, will give people something that they can use as one of the first three hashtags, if that's still in effect. Charles, I don't know. You're the YouTube guru, kind of person. I don't know.
They still have it, but it's changed up a bit now. It actually put it only 2 in your description, even though you put it at the bottom. When that first description pops up, you can click on it to read all the info and stuff, but it'll have a title and then it'll have that 2 tags up there. So,
okay. They've taken it down now to 2.
Yeah.
And those 2 are what they will promote. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can fix that. Somebody's trying to get me to violate, and they just did. Let me hit the mute button, and maybe that will do it.
You can scroll down and look at it now. Like on this one, it just says interview in Bushcraft family for the tags.
Oh, okay.
And they don't put it. Actually, I don't know. Do they put it in the title anymore? No, they don't put it in title anymore. It's in the description. Even if you put 3 there, it only puts 2 at the top.
Okay. So they only promote 2 hashtags.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then what we're doing is even more important. Taking and we always hated to have all the hashtag stuff that we were doing, but it made sense for what we were doing and to have to do it. And the rules that we had and the hashtags, it was cumbersome because it was so complicated. And it was because, when you're offering something of value, there's people to come in and want to cheat to get there. And so we would try to eliminate this thing that would come up, and it will pop up somewhere else because of what we did to fix the one thing, like whack-a-mole, and you can't predict people, but, we did our best with that, but it made it so cumbersome. This frees everything up. Okay, you got the one hashtag that you use that hashtag, and gardening homesteading skills would seem to be a good one to use, as far as I can see. And I guess those are going to be required. I don't know if if you put, let's say you have 6 hashtags, people can still find those hashtags, right?
If you put it, they will show up at the very bottom, because right now, which is kind of odd, on the live that we're doing right now, at the very bottom, I have interview, and then I've got the hashtag gardening homestead skills, homesteading skills, and then bushcraft family. But it put interview and bushcraft family at the top, which I don't know why.
Yeah, I think it's rigged.
I don't know.
Well, it could probably be because the gardening homesteading skills is brand new and
Yeah,
never been used.
yeah.
To this point, it hasn't been used.
Let me go ahead and click on it and see what pops up. Oh wow, actually, a lot of stuff showed up. Anything that has to do with gardening, homesteading skills popped up.
Yeah, but if you go in those videos, they're not using that hashtag.
Yeah, none of them are using the hashtag.
No, right. And that's why that hashtag, when we came up with it, it was very powerful, because that's going to bring all of your videos of gardening and homesteading right to that massive library.
Yeah, and once people start using it, you'll start seeing it generate.
Will eventually, our channels, our community will start overtaking all of that.
Yeah.
That's the whole point, is that we overtake it all. Our channels, our community overtakes it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we need participation from everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where the required videos per month helped us, in the beginning, to build the hashtag. Yeah. And not to mention, unknown to me and, really us at the beginning, it was a hashtag that other people had been using. There was the antler shed finding competition and TV show, which was dead, for years. No new episodes, It had been off the air for several years. And then it was just, people actually battling over their sheds, or, kids playing Dungeons and Dragons in their sheds or something like that. It was just a bunch of miscellaneous use.
Yeah.
And it was, we got the name Shed Wars because I said begun the Shed Wars has, like Yoda would. And, we used that name. I'm sitting over there like, let's use it. It'll be awesome. Because it was that. But,
yeah.
That's ancient history now. And so we move away from that. And the hashtag gardening homesteading skills, it's finding everybody's videos because they've got that in their thing, in their videos. But as one single word, it'll start gaining the footholding and the ground. It'll start gaining ground. And if we need to change something, we might do that. We might change the name. At this point, it's like Shed Wars has always been an evolving thing. And if we change it, if we feel the need to do that, we will, and everybody will know. We've got contact with everybody that is going to take part through email. So through email, we will be able to put out, information easily to everybody at the same time. That's important when you've got a large group of people that is still growing.
Mm-hmm.
There still people trickling in, you know, and this will be something that 1 week after we start, or one day, they'll be saying somebody, I've never heard of this. This is neat. And we'll be like, oh, dang, I'm sorry, you know.
Yeah.
But we are changing things. We like to start the season with the 2 ships full. We set sail from the dock and we go out for the season. We like to do it that way and not bring people in all the time. But we may have a point where we add people. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying these are possibilities, because that's the stuff that John and I we have to work on and decide what we're going to do. So nothing I say is bound in stone right now, except for what we've already decided to.
Yeah, because you never know down the road when some new people come in, they'd slack off and you don't see them anymore. You might want to fill those numbers back up again.
Yeah, and we'll probably have that. Over the years, we have, it's just a bunch of YouTubers, right? That's all we are. We're all YouTubers, and things happen. I mean, we even had people die. We had people that, had every problem in life come up, and, they're no longer with us. People do things for different reasons. Let me mention at this point, while we're here at this early stage, everyone that's here that is with us in the gardening homesteading skills competition, we've got a fishing rodeo that we do every year. So if you like to go fishing, go fishing. Get them skills going. If you hadn't been in years, get ready. Start going fishing. Start limbering up. It's a fun thing.
You never know. You might have to go out and go fishing to feed yourself.
Yeah, or just go fishing to get away from the world and the crazy stuff. It's fishing. It's what we did before we were attached at the brain to these dang phones. Okay, it's what we did. It was life. So we encourage everybody to get ready. Go get your stuff. Go ahead and buy you a fishing license if you need one, and start fishing and having fun before we start the season, and get back into life. Okay, pull yourself out of the day-to-day mind numbing rat race. Just slow down.
There's a question.
What's that?
Asking if she can just catch fish and not garden.
Well, that's something that we have been working on, but there's one rule that we have, that you must grow something in a container. Okay.
Yeah.
The purpose of gardening homesteading skills is for us to teach the world to grow food again, to feed themselves. Not everybody can go fishing. There are millions of people in apartments in cities that never leave the concrete, but they can grow food on their balcony or on their windowsill or in a back alley somewhere, who knows where. That's the common ground of what we do, the gardening part of it. Now, here's the thing. From the very beginning, it wasn't about which channel could bring in the most food, which would be the glorious, greatest producer, which homestead, with everything would be the most wonderful. That was never in my spirit at all. What comes from my spirit and John is that everyone is the same. We're all equal. whether you are in an apartment growing, and we have a few people like that, or you're on a big homestead. If you're harvesting your own cattle, that's wonderful, and it's going to help you become the big weight producer, and that's wonderful. But somebody with a big homestead is just as important as the person in an apartment. A single lady by herself getting on there in years, and she's growing just a little patio garden and trying to supply some of her own food. I will put more emphasis on that sweet lady before the nicest whatever homestead. Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's who we want to reach, the people that really need it. And let's face it, there's lots of people out there on YouTube making this content, but it's about the spirit of what we're doing. That's very important. And we're looking for people that feel the same way. There are mega channels out there that teach everything that we could possibly teach. Okay. But it's about giving them the example, the inspiration that a hillbilly in Tennessee can do this, an olderish hillbilly, an olderish Yankee up in Cape Cod, someone in Canada inside their apartment, someone in India, someone wherever they are. We had people in Africa, people in the UK. Right now, the UK is getting hit, rationing, food rationing. And I'm not going to say too much, Charles. I know I don't want to say too much, but the information is out there. People are suffering already.
Oh, yeah.
And we want to show them the face of people that live next door to them. This is not a big, hey, yay, look at me thing. It's not that. That's not our designs.
Last season, I had the tree fall on, so I didn't have much to do except to make videos, and I just showed people how I dried out my herbs and stuff. So that's all I had left was the herbs.
Yeah.
But a lot of people contact me and said that was the coolest thing you ever seen, was how I dried out my herbs and stuff, and what I use them for and whatnot. And I never really thought of that step, doing it before, showing people how to do that. And then I'm not saying I would rather have a tree fall on my garden again, but
in this life, you don't know what works out to what end later on, and who you inspire. Yeah. The one thing that you do that seems innocuous, means nothing, may trigger something in someone else that does something awesome. We're all connected on this planet, and with what we do, that's what we encourage. It's good, positive activity. Okay, it's positive in nature, spreading a good message. That will always reverberate around the world, just like the evil things, and it'll help people, right? Mm-hmm. Good people doing good things, that kind of thing. That's what we want to do and encourage people. Whenever you hung up your herbs and everything, you taught me something. Now that's easy to do. I just said that like I got all this knowledge, and I don't. Okay, I learned something from all kinds of people.
Yeah,
I learned something. It because somebody else's granny is doing something different than somebody else's granny on the other side of the world. It's like, when's the first time you ever heard of biltong, right? Biltong. Mm-hmm. It's like, well, that's beef jerky. No, it's biltong. It's kinda, but it's South African jerky. Little subtleties. We have a lady coming to join us from the high desert area of America. We have a channel coming in, a young man coming in here from India. We have an olderish guy from Tasmania. And people get to see their neighbors. That's important. And they see themselves and they know that they can do this. You know, that's the kind of thing. We're just one more voice, okay?
Yeah.
One more voice encouraging someone. I don't know. I could run mouth all day long. So, John, please talk. I'm fixing to flip a coin. It's John's turn. You won. Please talk.
While you're talking, I'm keeping muted because I don't want my penis pump to interfere.
I hear you. And then you never know in what other gardening collaboration and homesteading collaboration are you going to hear the two words penis pump. You're not going to. That's what we offer. A unique thing. Okay? We offer
have fun. We have
humor. You know, we have fun,
don't we?
So, do we need to have a penis pump challenge? I don't think we need to go there, but
No.
we'll let that one slide. But
This
we're
is an
going to have
ongoing joke between me and my computer. We'll leave it at that. It's just an ongoing joke for several years now.
ongoing relationship with John and his computer. Okay, let's whatever they've got going on under the, you know, whatever is going on there, we're fine with. We don't judge between John and his computer. Okay.
That's
right. Now, is it the only rules that has changed is there's no entry and no set number of videos? Is that the only rule changed so far?
That's pretty much it. And the only really rule we have is we ask that people must grow something in some kind of container.
Yeah, container.
Yeah, you have to grow something in some kind of container. Doesn't matter what container, it has to be in some kind of container, we ask. And that's for teaching purposes and learning purposes, because some people, unfortunately, they don't have the means to grow in a raised bed or outside. So this way they're learning how to grow in a container in their balcony or wherever. Or even if they rent a home and they have access to a backyard, but the landlord won't let them, put a structure in, like a raised bed or dig in the yard or something, but they'll allow them to have a 5-gallon bucket or maybe 2, 3. And, because growing in a container is totally different than it is growing in ground or in a raised bed. It's totally different.
Yeah.
Nutrient-wise, water retention-wise, soil mixture-wise, it's all different, whole different ball game. So it's nice to have those videos out there for folks to learn.
Oh yeah.
There we go, right there. Okay, we've got Wild Edibles is trying to leave. So good night, Wild Edibles. We'll see you around. Wild Edibles.
By the way, Wild, I did notice what you were saying in the chat earlier. We'll save that for another day.
She's in Canada, John. She's probably suffering from snow stroke up there. Okay. Just be nice.
I see what you were saying in the chat. Let's leave it at that. Wild, you have a wonderful night with Mike Caveman, and I'll address you at a later date.
Well, we've got Wild Edibles has got to go get a pound of milk. Darling, it's good to see you. You go get your pound of milk. We'll worry about it. Pound of flesh. You ain't gonna get it. You just relax and be all right. That lady right there brings in a set of skills that were learned over the course of her entire lifetime and her mother's lifetime. She carries knowledge of living close to nature, and she knows just about every plant, fungus, relationship. She's Mother Nature's daughter right there. that's the kind of knowledge that she has for natural growing and all this kind of stuff. She always forgets the milk, though. I don't know why. It's always milk, and she's always leaving to go get milk.
And also, before she goes, I want her to know that Wild Edibles, as of yesterday, is officially a sponsor of the Global Gardening and Homesteading community.
Oh, okay.
I
thought you were going to say she's suspended already.
No. There's only one so far that is suspended, and that's coming up. I'll address that at a later date. Wild Edibles is officially a sponsor. Thank you, Wild. Very thoughtful
cool
of you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Nobody's going to get suspended until they become on my team, and that'll be about it. John will be cheating, trying. Ooh, there's not so many rules, so that's going to be a little hard for the marshal to suspend anybody without too many rules.
Robert, there's always detrimental rules.
We will see. We'll see how this goes. But yeah, we want to grow in a container. You must grow something in a container. We've got to help folks.
Straightforward.
You know, and shift kicker, I know you might have been saying that tongue in cheek, but that's part of it. You know, that's the price. You've got to get out there and grow some food. Got a garden, you know, and then fish. And like we said, there's no minimums to the video, but it would be kind of foolish to not use the hashtag and help grow the community and the visibility of your video. And while we're on this subject,
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I wanted to say something. I'm chasing squirrels. Gardening Warrior Q comes in from a different angle. Okay, she is an apartment grower. She has the balcony, and that's where the majority of sunshine and growing she can do. But she also grows indoors, just like GT Junior grows in Alaska. You know, she's in a climate that gets pretty cold, and so she can grow inside, and she can inspire other people that are living in apartments. We've had little apartment growers in the past, so we want that diversity of people and their living conditions to be there and represented. We want it to be a big melting pot of representing everyone on the planet. That's a huge thing for me. It's my spirit. You know, it's John's spirit, but I'm just speaking from the heart, okay?
Yeah.
That's what I like to see. It's what fascinates me. Yeah, shift kicker. I don't know if you grow a garden much or whatever, but this year you're going to. Maybe you have several containers, but if people are watching and they're seeing the things slowly happening around them, and they're seeing the food situations and the things that are on the news that could affect them and the food, people, y'all need to be growing your own food, and you need to be doing it last year, okay? And learning how to preserve your food. See, with what we've done is we've opened it up because we had required gardening videos only, okay? Only gardening videos were required. We let people make other videos, but it was gardening centric. It's still kind of gardening centric since you've got to, but you can do anything else too. You know, chicken, poultry care videos, animals, all kinds of animals, whatever farm animal you raise in whatever part of the world you are. Guinea pigs or kangaroos is fine. Crocodiles, alligators is fine. If you're growing it to feed yourself and you can teach other people, that's what we want to see. The fishing rodeo.
A question for you.
Okay.
Remy, that is still in the works. Matter of fact, I was just speaking with Angie from Abundant Acres Homestead yesterday or the day before, and we're still working on that, and we'll announce the junior division if it's going to happen as soon as possible. So be on the lookout for that. Either way, we will let everybody know whether we're going to do a junior division or not. And also, Robert, to touch just real quick on something you were saying, and we're going to use a shift kicker. Uh, he's up in Minnesota, I believe, somewhere. Yeah, she's up in Minnesota. How can anybody live in that frozen? My God. But anyway, but one thing I can guarantee is, not everybody that's going to join the community actually does gardening. And because they don't do gardening, they're not going to participate in the gardening aspect part of the competition. That's understandable. But I can guarantee you that there's going to be a lot of members that don't garden right now, but they will be growing something by the end of the year. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could take somebody like Shift Kick and say, I've never grown a tomato plant. Well, you'd be surprised. You might just find yourself a 5-gallon bucket and give it a shot.
Yeah. There's all kinds of challenges. The one time you had the challenge when you buy something in the store and then take the seeds out of it and grow it.
Yeah. Seed ball.
And there a lot of people grew tomatoes from that.
Yeah, peppers. A lot of people grew cucumbers, squashes, zucchinis, you name it. Just going to the store, you get to eat the vegetable, and you get to grow the plant and eat the vegetable again. It's a no-brainer.
So let me dive back into Shift Kicker's original thing. So we've hit on it, but let me just say it. So if you want to, catch fish and let that be the primary way that you have fun and bring in weight, and you've got your container vegetable over here, you're growing that, you have fulfilled the requirement.
You qualify for the competition.
We've made it easy for people to have fun and show other people how to do that and grow their own food in whatever ways possible. Or harvest it, grow that container, 2 or 3, whatever. But take people.
Yeah, she grows in buckets and just one. Yeah, if you grow in buckets already, that's perfectly fine. And the fishing absolutely counts because I catch a lot of fish myself and bring in the fish weight for myself.
Yeah, well, we want to encourage it. We really want to encourage fishing, hunting. Digging clams, catching crawfish, turtles. Go out there if you like turtles. Make you a turtle catching video. Put that on there. Show how you clean it. Oh no, can't do that because
I don't know if you can get away with that one.
Yeah, we're still here, so it just still has to be friendly to the platform. Okay, but you can have your turtle recipe.
Well, Shift that will count for next season. So if you fish throughout the winter, just save the weight on that, and you can add it to the following year.
That's right. Charles, you were with us last year, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was the year that the tree fell. So whatever you grew and everything and went out, run over with the truck or whatever you needed to do to get it would count. Remy, I think they went out on a trip somewhere to the local store for some groceries, and they ran over a moose. Pretty much destroyed the car or whatever, but they got home with a moose, I think is what they did. The story I heard. But he can count that meat or his portion of the meat. It's really simple.
Yeah, I still got 34 pounds to add because I still had eggplant growing, and
Boom.
I still have it in the freezer too.
Yeah, you're walking in with weight into the competition. You
Yeah.
know, it's we just we try to make it to where everybody can have fun. And this year we've made the biggest thing to where it's a big benefit. It's easy to do, and we'll see where that goes. We got the container, must go in a container. Um, the three major rules, kinda. What is it? I'm drawing a blank, dude. I'm old man, tired, no sleeping
Um,
brain. In here.
you have the tag on.
Yeah, the
Oh,
tag.
you have to email one of you two
Yeah,
before the 10th
yeah,
of this month.
yeah. Seem like don't I have the rules? Hold on, gentlemen. I've got the rules. It's sitting here in front of me. But there was nobody that cared enough to remind me of that fact. Dang it. Good help is hard to find.
Oh, Charles, I was, excuse me, Rob. Charles, I was just looking. You were talking about emails. Um, Now, I don't make assumptions. You said that you had 30 pounds to add, but I
34.
actually never received an email from you that you, in fact, want to come back this year. Is
Oh,
that the
well,
case?
I was going to send it after this, but yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
You're playing hard to
Well,
get. You're
now
going
that
to make
you
it
said it,
sweat, huh?
you don't actually have to send it. I will actually add you to the list. But
Okay.
we don't make assumptions. That's why.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see here. Looking, I'm looking for where I've got it written down. This could be why we did so. This could be
And
some of
I would probably say more than that because I still growing stuff, which I'm completely moving my whole area around now.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
moving
fine.
it to the basement because it gets too hot upstairs.
Yeah.
Hey, do me a favor, Charles. If you are drafted, if the fate works out that you are so fated to have the privilege of being on my team, would you cut all the trees on your property for me? Would you do that?
Well, there's only half the tree left over there, and more than likely it'll fall on the neighbor's side.
Oh, you still got it standing. Good. I like to worry about things. That's good. Okay. There's three rules, and
But
I'll read them later.
the tree falling, I do have more space to because half my yard was in shade all summer, so there's no reason to plant anything over there now. Now I
Yeah.
have a reason to plant more stuff over there.
Yeah. There you go. Well, now you mentioned shade, okay, and we're talking about who qualifies to join and who is a valued member. We had and she came back with us. She lives in an apartment, and that's Miss Kaylin Strain. Now, Kaylin Strain has zero, zero sunlight shining on her place to where she can grow food with the help of the sun. Um, so she has to struggle to make any weight, and
Yeah.
she put in a weight that didn't. It was like 10 ounces, and that's what she could do. Okay, and it counts. It
Yeah.
counts because it's about effort and having fun and doing your best and and inspiring someone and people helping their channels. Okay, people helping their channels. That's where the community part really helps because the strength of the wolf is the pack, and the strength of the pack is the wolf. So we're packed together in a community, and we're helping one another. Um, that was part of the original design of Shed Wars, was that we really stressed to people to support one another. Okay, you'll meet channels from all across the world, and go and support them in Shed Wars. Help out your teammates, help out everyone in the community, because if they're helping you back, then a rising tide raises all ships. So it's to everyone's benefit to support everyone in the community. And John and I look for that, and we see who's showing up. Every year we've had people to join us, and they will make their videos, and they'll be up there, and we see them, and we won't see too many people commenting on them, but then we may never see their comments on any other video.
Yeah.
Okay. And then they want to ask, well, nobody's watching me. Well, it's still YouTube universe. And a lot of times you give as you give and you receive, right? So when you help somebody, maybe they come back and help you, but you got to put yourself out there. People got to see it.
And I've got viewers just from commenting on somebody I was never subscribed to. They asked a question, I answered it, and I got a bunch of subs just from commenting on that video. Never knew the person, but I just came across it, and it's some people look at that stuff. They immediately go down to the comments when the video is running.
Okay, Moonsprout. Gotta go. That's cool. But it's just about helping one another. When you're helping everybody, everybody's helping each other, and it helps push the algorithm or the hashtag. Your channel and your videos benefit from the hashtag becoming stronger. The one channel by themselves is not that strong, but when you're going as a group, you gain the strength of the group. And so that's the big part of all of that.
And that's the way to make the hashtag grow is when somebody goes and comments on other videos, because comments do count as to bring the algorithm up.
Yeah.
And it, just like the like and dislike, both of them have about as same amount of power. Unfortunately, you can dislike something and it'll drive it up.
It's interaction. That YouTube wants to see interaction, whether it's good, bad, doesn't matter. It's all about interaction. And the other thing too that I wouldn't. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Charles.
I was going to ask, because this is the time of the shorts.
Yeah.
Is this considered a video that you could do for? I almost said it, Shed Wars.
It's not qualifying, Charles. So if you want to do a short and you want a hashtag, if it's a short that's relevant, has relevancy to what we're doing, then sure, do a short. Because right now it's not about qualifying videos or anything like that. So if you want to do a short that has relevancy, use your common sense.
Hey, look there! I have a garden over there, and then that's the whole thing. you want to teach them something.
Yeah. We want people to use the hashtag to help people and put your best content out there. If we see somebody abusing it, and we'll say, hey, you're publicly, we'll talk to you on the side there for, and give you a heads up. But after that, and that grumpy old man in me kicks in, John, somebody's if you're intentionally being a knucklehead, okay, we're going to take you out to public. Like, look at this wonderful channel here. Let me give you your own shout out. Okay. That's where I'm going to go. Anybody that is wanting to be a knucklehead, mess things up, that's what you're going to get. You want attention, you're going to get some attention. Because we have had dealing with that in the past. That's my rule. Because we've had so many people with us, and it's a group. When somebody is doing something like that, you're hurting everyone. everyone's
Oh
effort,
yeah.
you know, and it's uncalled for. And so if you do decide that you want to be the one that pees in the pool and sits there and giggles about it, you know, or the hot tub or whatever, then you're going to
Where
get
there's
kicked out.
very little rules, with where
Yeah,
there's very little rules, there's still consequences where, if I, especially me, the marshal, I am the marshal, and I do enforce and impose the act around the community. And if I see someone that's acting up and doing something that perhaps they shouldn't be doing, that's when I kind of step in, and it doesn't end very well, as Charles knows, and Cajun Hydroponics, and most returning members know that when you come face to face with me, the marshal, it usually doesn't well. So
that's,
just don't act up, you know, keep it straight, and we'll get along just fine.
yeah, that's the marshal talk there. And the marshal's going to find you doing some things wrong. And when he does, he's gonna let you know.
I do have spies. I do have spies amongst the community. I actually just hired one up in Canada.
Oh boy.
So
Oh, that's great.
hey, I
But we're
gotta have
talking
them all over the world.
just for the newbies that don't have a clue as to what we're doing. There's two different kinds of things. You know, okay, we got the shed wars and the competition and the fun that we have inside shed wars,
Yes.
inside gardening, homesteading skills competition.
What?
The fun that we have
What,
inside it. Okay,
It's gonna be hard to drop the shed wars.
it is,
Every time you talk about gardening, it's shed wars.
yeah, it just rolls off the tongue. Yeah, it's
For
like,
me, I already dropped it. I don't even say it. I dropped it.
well, that's great, John. I'm just so glad that you just dropped it. You're just amazingly skilled that way, aren't you?
It's all up here. You got to put it
There
all
you
up here,
go.
Robert.
There's a lot of room to store stuff up there.
What's up there?
The empty space.
You'd be amazed what's up here.
But the people that have entered with us this year, I'm seeing. I don't see any red flags. You know, maybe a little pinkish flag or something, maybe a little something. But I really don't see that. And
Yeah, but that's something I'll fix that by the end of the year. You know,
you what?
I'll fix them by the end of the year.
Oh yeah, yeah. But I think it's gonna go a lot better this year than it has. You know, with as far as troublemakers, real, you know, YouTube trolls and troublemakers and stuff like that. That's what I'm
Oh
talking. And then we've got the fun stuff, you know, inside the competition. Oh,
And also, I forgot, I mentioned earlier about Wild Edibles being a sponsor. Also, Cajun Hydroponics has become a very big sponsor in this year's community. You know, very big. When I say big, I mean he went all out. So, Cajun Hydroponics, thank you, Danny. Much appreciated. I believe Rem's family is also sponsoring one of his own challenges. And that's what you guys also need to look out for, is once the season starts, we're going to be throwing out some really fun challenges for you guys to participate in. And if you're not paying attention to either me or Robert, you're going to miss out on those challenges.
Or the hashtag.
Yep.
Right.
You're going to miss out on it. That's
Right.
where
And that
staying
motivator. Oh, I didn't know about this. Like, I can tell you, the first challenge is going to be the secret seat challenge. So be ready for that announcement, because that's going to be the very first one.
Well, let's touch on the challenges and what we've talked about for sponsors. We want, okay. There's a couple of different ways that we're doing things. In the past, we have had this, you know, gigantic seed box, and it was really neat. and it was several $100s, and then it was broken apart and mailed out in mass to lots of people. And it was really a whole lot of money and a whole lot of energy invested to do this for, you know, not that great of a thing, just a few seeds, but it was about people having the same seeds in the community and doing things as a group. You know, there's that. Okay. So we've got other things in mind. And to do that, okay, there is a couple of different things. If you want to donate, we have a PayPal account that is set up. Okay. If you want the community to do, you know, these awesome things or whatever, if you want awesome prizes at the end of the year or through the year, then you can donate. All right. Hit the PayPal button or whatever, you know, we've got set up. If it's just PayPal, I don't know. But you can do the PayPal and help out that way. Our members can also, our members of our community in the competition, you can also issue your own challenges that you sponsor. If you've got a favorite vegetable, let's say you just love growing sweet corn, okay? If you love that, you can do a sweet corn challenge. And you will be the sponsor for Sweet Corn Challenge, and you will provide the framework, the story, the whatever the rules are for that, and you will provide the prizes for that. And that's open for anyone to do. But now here's the thing, that needs to go through John. If you wish to do some kind of sponsoring, go through John and send him that email at willetgrow76@gmail.com. Okay? Put that all in one place. And it's really open for anyone to do that. Okay? But we do want to know the details of what you're asking people to do, just to make sure that everything is okay and that it won't get anybody in trouble or anything like that, you know.
Yeah, if you have an idea of something that you think would be fun, I ask, please run it by me first. We will discuss it, you know, and we'll see where it goes from there. And I can't imagine that, you know, I wouldn't foresee it going through, but it's just so I can have an idea of if there's already a challenge out there that maybe you're not aware of, that they don't interfere with each other. So just please have the courtesy to email me with your idea, and we'll discuss it, and we'll discuss what prize it is that you want to offer for the winner, second place, third place. That's totally up to you. And if you don't want to host and you want to sponsor a certain challenge, then you could just email me and say, John, I would like to donate $25, whatever, $30 for a prize towards a challenge of your choice. And then I will assign you as an official sponsor to a certain challenge of my choosing. You could do it that way too.
Yeah. It's wide open. Basically, we're a growing community for having fun, and we've opened it up wide open for you to have as much interaction and fun or whatever and involvement as you want to. You can do a little or a lot, you know. The sky's the limit, really. I mean, you get imaginative if you want to, and you know, it's really open. There's one rule, one main. Well, we've got everybody's emails. We're connected through emails.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these three basic things, and you've got to grow something in a container and teach people how to grow your vegetable in the container, however you do it. And then take them on a foraging trip with you. Show them how you make an apple pie. Show them how you make a dish with mushrooms you foraged for. Teach them some recipe that you you make with your eggs that you grew, recipes, homesteading skills. There's a lot of those. Do you like to quilt? Well, quilt falls into the homesteading category. Do you like to make candles? Okay.
Soap.
Soap. Do you like to make soap? Candles. Do you like to do woodworking? Okay. It's homesteading. That could mean an enormous amount of things, skills that you can teach people, fun things, whatever.
Right. It doesn't count towards the gardening part of it, but it does count towards the community participation part of it, which is what we want. And it's fantastic. And it should be involved in there.
That's right. We're making it as simple and easy for people to just have fun, and to grow as part of the community. I'll go back and say again, I think that we all understand that there are huge gardening channels and homesteading channels. We get that.
Yeah.
Right. And we're not going to, people are not going to start looking for gardening, homesteading skills and all this kind of stuff. And we're not going to take the place of a Scott Head or David the Good or you name the channel. Okay. But we're showing something different. This is, average Joe's, the regular guy on the street. This is where we do things and we have fun. And this year we're making it where we remember it's having fun and teaching.
Yeah. I would rather watch 50 people teach me how they grow tomatoes than trying to learn it from one person.
Yeah.
You have so many different ideas on how they stake them up, how they trim their suckers, and all kinds of different information compared to just that one person that might touch on it for 8-minute video. And then you have all these other people that will show you how to grow a tomato.
And I would like to touch on one thing really quick. I mean, I hate to be the bathtub bubble that stinks, but the also another thing is we've seen a little bit of this in the past, and we didn't know how to really deal with it at the time. If you're going to enter the community, that's fine and dandy, and at the end of the year, when I ask my teammates and Robert asks his teammates to turn in your official weights for the gardening and whatever it is you do to gather food for yourself, if all year long, let's use Shift Kicker. I'm going to use her again, Shift Kicker. If her channel, if I'm watching her channel throughout the year and she's not showing anything about fishing, anything about growing in pots, she's not showing anything food whatsoever that she's growing on her channel, at the end of the year, I'm not expecting Shift Kicker to say, hey, John, I grew 500 pounds of food and I have 600 pounds of fish. Because there was absolutely no evidence on her channel. None. So keep that in mind, is that we are watching, as you're participating, you want to turn in weight? Well, you have to show us. We have to see something on your channel that would indicate the fact that you actually grew that way, or you foraged for it, or you went fishing for it, if that makes any sense.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's the honor. We got it's the honor system.
Yeah.
But we've had problems in the past with people that don't understand about the honor system. They understand about the ego system. Okay? They understand about the me system. We've had that. And we are not right for anyone that has that attitude. You want to show the world you're a star and you're the only one that matters. That's, we're going to see that real fast. But I don't think we're going to see that. we got a bunch of people in here ready to have fun and help build the community. It's I haven't really seen that in anybody that's really bothering me. You know, I think we got a good crew, to draft out to see which team you're going to land on. We're all one team. We're the gardening and homesteading skills team. We'll be on two different ships, and we'll be throwing squash at each other. When tomatoes, and then we'll also be there to give a kind word and a hug to a man when the tree falls on his garden. I want to see some really cool stuff. I want to see somebody making traps out there to catch things. In the woods. I want to see that skill. That's good stuff. That can be like in the homestead. I mean, we're gonna put that in there. One thing I thought about doing with this, or we thought about doing, was having the word survival in there. Gardening, homestead, survival. And we may change it to that. You never know. But with certain words that maybe the algorithm doesn't favor. So what we do, we, just act casual, and try to, just act casual.
Yeah, skills can mean a lot of stuff.
It can.
Just the word skills.
Like I said, this is a competition, a global competition, where you're going to grow at least one vegetable in the container, right? I pray that people go further than that. And you're going to see in the same competition candle making, okay? You're going to see quilt making, pie cooking, cake baking, any of your things like that. That's all homesteading stuff.
Taking care of bees, harvesting honey, harvesting
Yes.
maple syrup, all that.
All that stuff. Maple water still doesn't count. Maple syrup counts, okay? Which brings me to something here, okay? There are so many little nuanced things and questions that people ask. I will have another video to answer those questions, or a live stream or something, where we'll sit around, maybe a live stream, where people can ask questions because people are going to ask something that I've never heard of, and we can answer it. But it'll be about what qualifies as food. Okay, for instance, no dumpster diving counts. Okay, that can be looked on bad by the algorithm or whatever, and it could be we're teaching someone to do something unsafe. And it also is not what you can gather like that. Nothing you buy, nothing given to you unless it's part of a mutual harvesting of an animal or something like that. Okay. But the granny comes in and says, "Hey, we got a bunch of sweet corn here. We want y'all to have the rest of this." That's not going to count. It wasn't you going out and doing the thing. Unless you're sharecropping with your granny or something like that, and she gets half the field and y'all get half the field, So that'll be for a later time before at some point. Now, see, the time gets away really fast. So we'll have to have that soon. And maybe we may do a live for that.
And I remember there was a lot of talk, like somebody would weigh their eggs and then they would can them and then add the weight again.
I caught on to that really quick, where people will weigh in their milk, their cow's milk or their goat's milk, and then they were making butter out of it. So they would weigh the milk, they would make butter, and then weigh the butter. Yeah. So they were getting double weights. And no, you can't do that. It's either you weigh the milk or you weigh the butter. It's one or the other, because then you could take that butter and you could make a cake out of it. Okay, let me weigh the cake too because I used butter. No. favorites: weigh the milk
Yeah.
or weigh the butter, one or the other. The other issue we had in the past is people growing fodder for the animals. You
There
know,
you go.
don't, if you're gonna grow, we always use this one because this was a classic. Is, if you're gonna grow 1,000, 2,000 pounds of pumpkins, and then you're gonna feed them to your animals, don't count that weight. That's not, I, you can count your animal that eats those pumpkins and that fodder. Once you harvest your animal, sure, count your animal weight. But as far as what you're feeding, what you're growing to feed your animals, the intense fodder, no, don't count the fodder. So don't try to put the wool over my eyes and say I grew 1,000 pounds of pumpkins and I'm going to eat every single pound of it, because I just will not believe you. I'm sorry.
So this would, I couldn't get away with this. So my rabbits, I use their poop to feed the garden. So I could weigh the poop and count that as
If you eat the poop.
If you eat the
my
poop,
my
yeah.
plants eat it though.
No, if you're going to eat the poop, you can weigh the poop. But we've got to see the video of that, okay?
Yeah.
If it's
I
something
actually,
that you eat, you're going to eat it, you can weigh it.
years ago, I actually had one guy had the audacity with a serious face ask me if he could actually weigh the firewood that he uses to warm up his house. I told him a straight answer. I said, if you make a video and show me you eating that firewood, then absolutely you can weigh all the firewood you want.
Yeah, it's good fiber.
Hey,
Might get a little constipated, but
I mean, it's stuff that you don't
might not
ever.
be good for his intestines. I don't know. A couple of splinters, one would think.
You would not believe the questions that come up, and both good and not so good. It's like, wait a minute, what are you trying to do? No, you can't do that. Okay. And then the other ones is like, oh wow, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Um, didn't think about it. So we'll have another. I think probably another live stream. And between now and then, anybody that's in the competition or even not, you can think of questions and bring them to it, and we'll brainstorm right there if it's something new. If it's not, you will hopefully learn 99% of the questions that have come out, so we don't have to keep replowing that ground. God, I want to, it'll always come up. And I'm glad that you touched on that, John, because out of all of our people in here, in the competition and in this chat room, somebody's eye, they got like that little spark in their eye, right? And they said, ooh, that backfield, Kathy. That Kathy, the backfield, we're going to put pumpkins in there. Yeah. There's somebody in here was thinking that.
please, no. I don't want to see that one.
All mail review calendar. That could be something. It's free and open. There's no telling where we'll go. Family friendly, though. That was one of the rules I didn't remember earlier. We do want, all of our videos to be family friendly content.
I don't
Not
think the new
family
members need to know anything about any mankinis or any of that stuff. So I think we're starting fresh, and all of that is behind us. There was some sick times a few years ago, but I think we're past that now.
There's some traditions that we'll probably keep. We got to have fun, and the mankini was a good thing.
It was a good thing. 2 years ago, whenever I had that heat stroke, which thank the Lord I'm still alive. But yeah.
John, Danny can't say it right now. Okay, you see what you're doing right now? Okay, you're running mouth. All right, we want you to do less of that. Okay, that's for you, Danny.
So
for you,
no
brother.
Mankini on draft night.
No, no. There's absolutely no need for that. No.
Oh no, there might be some need.
There is,
Maybe on
however,
some.
going to be an official suspension announcement. Unfortunately, through circumstances in the off season, uh, I have determined as the marshal that there was one individual that was acting in a certain behavior, and it's a returning member. Therefore, they do qualify at all times, even in the off season, for either penalty in the upcoming season or suspension. And through some stuff that they did, unfortunately, continuously, they did manage to get themselves suspended. Uh, and I will
Already.
announce that suspension at the beginning of the draft. That person is still qualified to be drafted, uh, but unfortunately, it's not going to start out well for them. And hopefully, this will, teach them for the future to calm it down a little bit, and we'll see how it goes.
Now,
Why is
again,
everybody
why
so quiet?
everybody? Because there's a lot of people just coming in. Uh, how how do you enter this in all the starting information?
How do you enter the competition?
Yeah,
Well,
or
if you're just coming in, you are interested in joining the global gardening home and homesteading community, you just email me, one of the moderators. Please put the email down again. It's willitgrow76 at gmail.com, or Robert at homesteadaquarius@gmail.com. And you just simply tell us the name of your channel, who you are, and you would like to join the community. If we know your channel, most likely we already know what you do. If we don't know your channel, we will be sure to go check you out on YouTube, see what you're all about, and we will kindly email you back and say we will add you to the draft list. Now, once we email you back and say we will add you to the draft list, means that to this point we've accepted your channel to be on the draft list. Now, that doesn't mean you will be drafted. It does not mean that. It means that you are being considered to be drafted come March 11th. And that's basically it.
March 10th is the deadline.
March 10th is the deadline. I'm sorry, but we have to put a cutoff point. So this way, come March 11th, and we finish the draft, might even go to March 12th, because the number is getting really high. And the reason why we might break it into 2 days is because we'd like to spend a little time, talking about each channel as we draft them, instead of just bang, 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 to give everybody
Yeah.
just a little, a minute or two of actually talking about that channel a little bit, which I think is important, instead of just calling out the name. So we might have to make it. I'm actually almost convinced that with the number of entries so far, that we're going to have to make it into 2 days.
Yeah, there's a lot.
The turnout has been unbelievable, and you guys still have basically 10 days left if you are interested in joining.
And it's going to go fast.
Yeah.
I have extended personal invitations out there to a few people, and we'll see how that goes. But it's going to be. There's going to be a few people, and it's going to make it it's going to make it more fun. And because it's not as rigid as it was before, there's not. It's not going to be as hard on John and myself. Okay, not going to be hard on us. Not going to be hard on the participants. It's laid back. It's amazing. The stress on me has been lifted tremendously.
Right. The
Um,
micro, we don't have to micromanage anymore. Now it's not, we don't have to like,
yeah,
because the spies, they do email me or text me like, hey, this channel's doing this. And then, okay, and I'll go check it out, go see what they're up to. And then I determine, that's fine. There's nothing wrong
Just
with
look
what
at
they're
it
doing.
at what you guys had to do. Say
Yeah.
there's 50 people. That's times 2
Yeah.
videos from each of those people in a
Yeah.
month that you have to go in and watch. That's what,
It's
oh, it's terrible.
it
Um,
is. There was times I was here waking up at
not to
4 o'clock
mention
in the morning.
finding the videos.
Yeah, waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning on my day off on a Saturday, and come 11 o'clock at night, I'm still watching videos, and it's like I just missed my whole Saturday, my day off, just watching videos, and it's like wow,
yeah,
So I mean, we can't watch every single video. It's literally impossible.
yeah. But it's we had some people that made um, like many videos, like 10, 15, 20 videos a week or more.
Yeah.
And so, and that's under this hashtag, that's fine. Okay. Here's the thing that matters. Grow a vegetable in a container. Something that's going to help feed somebody. Okay. And keep up with your weight as you go through the year. Don't try to figure it all up at the end, because that's a farce. It's not a rule, but it's a guideline. It's a rule, unspoken rule. Have a set of scales, whatever you've got that works. Accurate set of scales. Estimation, we don't need that. Okay. Have an accurate set of scales. Keep up with your weight as you're going along. Keep a running total. And at the end of the year, what matters is who's got the most weight. If you grew 5 pounds of tomatoes in a container and you caught
Most weight as a
600,
team, not as hold on, Rob.
yeah,
Most weight as a team, not as an individual.
yeah.
Remember, this is not an individual competition. This is a team competition. So it will be team Will It Grow versus Team Aquarius, and all of our weights. If somebody only grows 1 pound, hey, that's 1 pound. That's fine. Somebody else grows 2,000 pounds. Now we have 2,001 pounds between two team members, and so on and so on. So it's a team thing, not an individual thing.
Everyone counts the same. Everyone is just as important. And what we look at the hardest is who is taking care of the community. Okay. So the more you do for that, the more we're going to see that. And we're going to be like, okay, this one here, they're doing some good stuff. They're supporting their other teammates and the people on the other team too. Because like I said, we're all one big team. Okay. We don't want it to be a tribal affair. We don't want it to get that way. We're all together in this,
Even if you're on separate teams, you're still on the same team.
Exactly. We're all in it together.
Yeah.
And we want to stay away from rivalries. I mean, serious, we want people to be encouraged, to help one another. That's a big thing. Lord. T.N. Bushcrafter came in. A lot of people have. Wait a minute. Is that T.N. Bushcrafter? It's Tennessee Ridge Runner. Sorry. My eyes are toad.
I don't see any bushcrafters in here.
Yeah.
T.N. Bushcrafter, he just joined us, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Yes, he did. We got a lot of folks coming in. And at this point, y'all don't know who each other is. You'll find out on draft night who you may be on a team with. After we have the draft, okay, and you're drafted onto a team, at that point, it is okay. Well, let's see, after we got the draft done, all right, both nights, all right, then it's okay to make a video and saying, hey, I am in the Gardening Homesteading Skills Competition 2023. This is me. This is what I do. You know, and I'm drafted on this team, and show yourself off. And when you're doing that, we're going to show you off too. The draft is also to highlight each member that comes up. You know, we're going to be highlighting everybody and talk about you and what you do.
And it's also a good way.
About,
yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, what about playlist?
There's we have it now. The playlist, it's okay. We haven't, because the playlist was designed. That rule was designed for the way we used to do things.
To help you guys.
It accomplished many things, but a playlist would still be a good idea.
I would do a playlist. That's just the way I am.
You can do a playlist if you want.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, you know, it ain't gonna hurt anything. You know,
actually, it does help, because some YouTube does advertise playlist.
Okay.
Sometimes playlists will show up. Like if you're looking for gardening and it says global gardening on it, it'll pop up and it'll show all your videos, and that's a plus.
Well, then boom.
Also, can I just touch real quick on that thing you were saying about the videos, Robert?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can make a video, an entry video, like Robert was saying, explain, you know, what you're doing, what you're gonna be doing, but that also gives you the opportunity for the rest of your subscribers that don't know what you're talking about. It also gives you a chance to introduce to them what you are now a part of and what you're going to be doing, what's the cause of you doing this on your channel. And I think a lot of them will take appreciation to what you're actually doing and for the cause of it. So you can use that as an opportunity to introduce your other subscribers, so they have a basic idea of what it is that you're getting yourself into, which is into a gardening and homesteading community to help people out.
There you go. Okay. One thing, everybody that's in the that is entered into the draft here, everybody, we've got the emails and everything. Start thinking about any questions that you have. Be thinking about those. We don't have anything scheduled yet, but it'll come up soon in the next 10 days where we have the question and answer session. Also be thinking about,
I did make a video specifically on the date of the draft and the time of the draft.
Okay.
It was I think last week.
Okay. Well, yeah. But I'm talking about
Tommy Smeltz didn't watch the video, so he doesn't know the time.
Yeah. We're talking about the question and answer session.
Make sure you go in during this video or after the video. Make sure you go sub to one of them or both of them. I'd might as well both of them, because one of them might be your team leader.
Your team.
Yeah,
see, that goes back to one of the things where I mentioned earlier. I touched on it just a little bit. Is if you don't keep up with what your team captains are doing, if you don't keep up, you're going to miss out on a lot of things. Like Tommy's a great, fantastic guy. He was my teammate last year, and hopefully I get a chance to draft him again this year. He doesn't know when the draft is. Now, if he wasn't here, most likely he probably would have missed the draft, because he wasn't paying attention to what I said, and I made a video about that. But Tom, the time is 8 p.m. March 11th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's why it's important, guys, and I'm not saying this so you guys can come and watch my video. No, as a part of the competition, you might want to tune in once in a while and keep up with what's going on within the community. That's all.
Well, we've got a junior division, and we've got mostly adults in here. So we're not going to spoon feed. We've done enough of that in years past. If you know, you need to keep up with what's going on. All right, just flat-footed saying it. Yeah, you okay? Here's the thing. We've got a community. Let's say we've got 60 participants. Guess what? If you're all subscribed to one another and supporting one another, then everyone has just gained 60 new subscribers that are dedicated to helping them. Okay, does that sound like a good idea? Because that was part of the selling point originally when we did this. One of the things that, really benefits our subscribers. It's that interaction. It's people that's really got your back. Okay, it's that kind of thing. But be thinking about your questions, any questions that you have for the question and answer session. Also think about if you want to be a sponsor in any of the ways that we've spoken about. If you've got a favorite vegetable or a fruit or anything like that that you want to issue a challenge for, bring it up, because it's open for everyone to participate like that. You can make your own cool little mini challenge. And then we're going to put videos out with all the information that you need. The sponsor will, whoever's sponsoring a challenge or whatever, y'all will have the spotlight. You will be making the video to tell how the sweet corn challenge goes. Okay. And all of this kind of stuff. Once it's approved, okay, we got to get the approval in there. But it'll be your channel that gets that traction, okay? Because we're all YouTubers. We all understand these things, And John and I will be putting out, all this official stuff. Our individual members will be putting out official stuff. You want to be subscribed to each other. You want to have that bell on. And to defeat all the little problems that we have, you need to check in. I would recommend checking in to John's channel and mine just to make sure that you're not missing something somehow. Because we always have it, well, I didn't know. Okay, like John was saying earlier. If you didn't know, I'm sorry. Or if you ask questions about the details of something that was in a video, I'm going to refer you to the video. I've got to get back to gardening and other things to do in life and manage this, same as John. And the little questions that kept coming up, showing that somebody wasn't paying attention, somebody didn't even watch, but yet they were somehow in that individual competition and they needed details. No, you need to go back and watch that video. And
I mean that happens a lot, where we purposely sneak in a very valuable piece of information either 3/4 of the way through or towards the end, just to see. And you'll be amazed that a video can get 100 views on it in 24 hours, and then you see who comments on it, and later on, about a week later, out of those comments, you'll see 4 or 5 people. Oh, by the way, when's this? When's that? When's this? And it's like, oh, that was you left a nice comment, but you didn't watch the video now, did you? No, you didn't watch the video.
Yeah. Watch.
See, that's the thing, is they get caught. Yeah, they get caught. Because we do that purposely sometimes to see if people are actually paying attention.
Yeah.
Or if they're actually watching the video.
It's about respect for each other.
Yes.
And
yes.
The same kind of people that would do that, they're going to do it to you. You're going to put out your rules video for your individual challenge, and you'll have, the 20% of our members will come to you and say, hey, what is it okay if I do this over here? Is that all right? You're like, but I just told you in the video, right?
Yeah.
And you won't do that the first 5 times. But on that 6th time, you know, and you got the baby puke on your, just wiped it off of you somewhere, and this person comes in and asks you that you put in a video. You took your time to think this out, put that information out there, and then they come to you with this question that you answered in the video that they said, this is wonderful. You're going to be like, get out of here. Quit wasting
it's
my
like,
time.
right. It's like Bushcraft. If, Charles, if Bushcraft channel is to, sponsor a challenge and he wants to throw out a challenge out there. Let's say he wants to do, because he thinks he grows the biggest pepper out of everybody. If he wants to throw out a challenge this year of that you could grow the biggest pepper. And if I'm not paying attention to his channel whatsoever, 2 months from now, people are going to be talking about this big pepper challenge, and I'm going to be like, what pepper challenge? What are you talking about?
Too late now.
Right. It's like, well, who made that challenge? Oh, it was Bushcraft. You didn't see it, John? No, I didn't know about it because I wasn't paying attention to Charles's channel at all. So I had no idea. But I would have liked to have joined. Well, it's too late. You should have been paying attention to good old Charles. That's the thing. Unfortunately, that's the thing.
There's a Canadian here, little homestead by the beach.
Yeah.
This is what I love about it, okay?
She was actually the very first one to join this year. That's not a returning member.
She took me on a trip to the coast. I talked about this earlier in the live stream, and it was awesome. Through all this snow and into that frozen coastline with all that jagged ice. I will most likely never see that in my life, but I got to see it through her eyes with her feet guiding me through there, and it was awesome. I love this about YouTube, and I love this about their community. If you have any issues, if anyone has any issues, complaints, anything that you need to say, get off your chest, questions that haven't been covered anywhere, whatever, hit us up. We want to hear from you. If there is something that John is doing or some other official is doing that is bothering you, send me an email, contact me. If I am doing something that you're uncomfortable with or somebody else, then, whatever, send it to John. It's like the standard management thing. Okay. We want to hear from you. We want it to be a wonderful experience for everyone as possible from wherever you are in the world. And we can't, control everyone's behavior. It's a big group with people from all over the world in it. You got any problems, you let us know. We'll take care of it. That I promise you. If you see any sketchy behavior out there, something else one thing else that we've had to deal with in the past is recruiting efforts by other communities or other channels for their specific causes. Okay. We don't want to see that. You're going to see it because other people will find you from outside of our community, and they are going to try to recruit you into their own concerns, their own challenge, whatever like that. We see a lot of that. We see predators coming around the edge of the flock and trying to pick off, new members or whatever. That happens everywhere. If you see that, and if you're harassed in any way, whatever, let us know, and then we'll take care of that. And whoever's doing it, they will get a shout out. I will make a nice public shout out for them, and we will highlight their channel, drive them some business, maybe.
And a lot of people know that I'm not shy about doing public shout outs. I'm very good at them.
Yeah, John's very good at it, and I'm getting older and more grumpy by the day, but not for my community members. We appreciate each and every one of you, and we take care of our people like family. That's what we want to do.
And also one other thing too, as once the season starts, like it's going to start off already, like I mentioned earlier, with a returning member unfortunately finding themselves suspended uh, already to start the year off. That's something that you know, a lot of new people say, "Oh my God, what? Why are they suspended? What's a suspension and all that stuff?" Don't get too worked up about it. It's something that I do as the marshal in the community. Is some people get penalties, some people get suspensions. It happens, but it's all in a fun way. At the end, it's all in a fun way. Don't get too worked up about it. If one day you might end up in the suspension list, or maybe a penalty coming your way, just take it like a man or a woman and move on. That's all.
I would like to, whenever you do your shout out videos, I would like to see the algorithm that they don't show for when somebody hits the dislike button, and then toward the end of it they flip it around and hit the like button,
I would
because
like
they
to see
don't.
that. Because believe it or not, I don't get. I mean, when I first started doing those videos, I would lose G7, 8, 9 subscribers. Boom, 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 boom. Like they would just drop out. But then when they finally realized what I was doing, they would all come back. They would all come back and say, "Oh, John, yes, I'm back. Oh, yeah, yeah." Like I thought, you were this animal, like crazy and all that stuff. It's they don't understand what's happening until finally they do. And the ones that understand it actually enjoy it and want to partake fun in it, and everybody has fun. Like Charles, you understand it, and
Oh yeah,
you've been a part of the marshals, chambers, maybe more than once. I penalized you once, or
yeah.
maybe twice. So I think I even suspended you too. And Charles took it like a man, and it is what it is. That's just fun.
Oh yeah.
I can see that suspended person is being very quiet tonight. That's good. That's good. She is. She's actually being very, very quiet tonight. Maybe I've smartened her up a little bit.
Well, it's 9 o'clock, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Any last words did you guys want to get out there?
Yeah, Robert. I mean, Charles. Q Kitchen is saying that Homestead Aquarius is spelled wrong on your screen.
Uh-oh.
You forgot a U in front of the I guess.
Uh, yeah,
Aquarius.
yeah, yeah. That's incorrect. Aquarius. IUS.
Let's see if it'll let me change it.
That'll be okay. We've got it in
No,
the
I have
chat
to.
thing, and all homesteadaquarius@gmail.com. I'll just put it in the chat here,
Beautiful.
but it's fine.
And I
Thank you,
want to
Q.
thank you, Charles, for giving us the opportunity to come up here and
Oh
promote
yeah.
this. I think it's going to be a fantastic, better year than ever, and really, really excited to see all of the brand new people coming in to join us in this effort of, not just United States, but global, doing this on a global scale. I think it's pretty unique and pretty special. And I can't wait to see, hopefully, some of you that are here in this chat that are hearing for the first time. Don't be discouraged to email either me or Robert, and we'll get back to you, and let's grow some food. Let's have some fun in this
Yeah,
platform
There
since
it
we're
goes.
here anyway.
let's have fun, man.
Let's have fun. Let's
Okay,
make growing food fun again.
Make sure if you're wanting to join, to get your email sent out before the 10th
Before the
of
10th
March.
of March.
yeah,
All right,
before
guys,
the
I got to go. But once again, thank you, Charles. Robert, you
Oh,
have a
you're
wonderful
welcome.
night. And you guys in the chat, Have a good one.
Okay, see you, John. Yeah,
See ya.
Charles, we appreciate it, brother.
Oh yeah, you're welcome.
The public airtime here on your channel is much appreciated. And thank you very much, sir. I'm going to jump down now.
Okay. And we're going to go ahead and end it here. But like I said, if you're wanting to join something like this, there's only requirements now is make sure you grow something in a pot and make your videos has something to do about teaching somebody how to do something, and you're good to go. We'll be, far as I know, we'll be over at Bear Truth's tomorrow at his normal time, and then I'll have another live here Friday. Not sure of the subject yet, so we'll have to see. And I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us tonight, and we will see you on the next one. And we'll catch you guys later.